What's up guys, Benny here, and welcome to the best settings for Battlefield 6, because I'm sure you're probably aware the settings menus are one of the worst things about this game. So this video is going to be absolute no nonsense, taking you through all the settings that you need to change to get the best experience possible, whether you're on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation 5. And we're going to start from the home menu, and you're going to press your bumpers and go straight across to the settings. Now from here, we're going to go to the left hand side and click gameplay, and we're going to work our way down to the key things. First things first, infantry. Infantry aim sensitivity. I would personally recommend using a 35. This is a bit lower than default, but gives you great control and is going to allow you to snap to your opponents a lot easier. If you're struggling of hitting your shots, just drop your aim sensitivity down to 35. We're then going to continue to head down to our next setting we're going to change, and double tap crouch for sprint slide. Turn that off. Parachute auto deploy, I changed to tethered only. This isn't really going to be as big of a problem until we get to the Battle Royale, which is coming out in the future. Then we're going to head down to peak type, and you're going to disable this. Now, the reason for this is it's going to give you far greater control of your movement in Battlefield 6. The peak setting isn't really that useful. It's a cool thing in theory, but disabling it and kind of being able to have full control of your character is way more important. So disable it, interact and reload, change it to interact tap, and then reload hold. This just means that you have full control of your actions whilst playing Battlefield 6, and you know if you need to reload at any point, you just hold that kind of reload button. It's going to do the reload rather than picking something up or opening or closing a door or whatever interaction is available. We're then going to go further down. Vehicle aim sensitivities I've pretty much kept as default. They feel pretty good overall. The infantry aim input curve, I've got to BF1, BF4. We will be going into more detail of this once we get to the controller section of the settings menus. Continue your way down. All of these are left as default. You're going to flick to the left and head to controller, and then click your Y or triangle button, or click the bottom right to edit settings. Now this is where it gets pretty darn complicated, because I don't understand why they couldn't just have all these in one place, but you're then going to click edit on control settings as we go here. We've already adjusted our infantry aim sensitivity, so we don't need to do that again, but we are going to change our field of view. I personally go with a 110. This gives me a wide peripheral view of everything going on around me, so I can react to anything that happens in game, which is very, very important. Then we're going to scroll down. We've already changed our infantry aim input curve to BF1, BF4. Personally, if you're on console, it will show us two different settings. Go for BF4. Then stick input acceleration presets. You want BF4, BF3, and Battlefield Bad Company. And then your aiming left and right acceleration, you want to change that to 12. Just makes the game feel really, really good. All of these are down as default. Double tap crouch for sprint slide is off, but we've already done that. And then zoom, I've just flipped my triggers. So for me, rather than my left trigger and right trigger, I've got it as my L1, R1 on this controller. If I'm using my Xbox scuff, I will be using it as the default, so left trigger, right trigger. So it all depends on the controller that you're using and your personal preference. Then a key thing you want to change is your infantry zoom aim sensitivity. Now, what this means is that when you ADS, it's going to drop your sensitivity so you get better control, so you can adjust your shot to hit those upper chest or head shots, so you can get the faster TTKs. This means you can make those small micro adjustments a little bit easier once you ADS, so drop this down to 86. Then all the other zoom aim sensitivities I have as complete default. Interact reload, we've already done this. Peak type is set to disabled, and everything else here is default, right? So congratulations, you've now got all the controller settings done. We're then going to back out. Remember, you can constantly adjust these as well. Like I said, there's a couple little settings in here that you can change that really, really help. One little trick, if you love to snipe as well, as we kind of work our way down here, like crouch toggle prone, I set to my right click, so right thumbstick click. Fire and zoom, I've flipped. Melee takedown, I've put onto B or circle. So I play claw on a controller, so whenever I'm holding a controller, I'm holding it like this. So for me, it kind of works, especially with paddles on the back. Continue kind of scrolling down, but this is the trick, okay? Now, what you want to do is change your rangefinder zeroing, if zoomed, to the same button as you do to hold your breath. So that is the left thumbstick click. If you set that to that, it means that whenever you take a shot when sniping, it's going to automatically zero, and it means you can hit him in the middle of your crosshair and you're going to land your shot every time, no matter the distance. It's a pretty big hack, to be perfectly honest with you. Definitely go ahead and do it. Right, we're then going to back out of here and we're going to continue kind of scrolling down. Right, all of these you do not need to touch. I use default, they work great. You may want to go through and change all the vehicle gunning options to in the flip triggers if you're using the bumpers to fire. But that's personal preference. We're then going to head to the graphic settings. This is especially important if you're playing on PC. Now, my performance preset and graphics quality is all custom, and we're going to head into the graphics quality settings and edit it. This is what I'm rocking. Texture quality is high, texture filtering is high, mesh quality medium, terrain quality is medium. Then we've also got undergrowth quality is low, effects quality low, volumetric quality low, lighting quality is high, local light and shadow quality low, sun shadow quality is medium, shadow filtering to PCF, reflection quality low, screen space reflections off, post-process quality is low, screen space AO and GI off, and then high fidelity objects amount low. Now remember, this all comes down to the power of your PC. If you've got the top spec PC, you can go ahead and maybe up these a little bit, but I'm going for absolute before in-game performance, so I get the most frames so I can perform at the highest level, and this works really well for me. Then we can continue going down and you can go into your advanced if you need. I personally use NVIDIA Reflex low latency, and then upscaling is DLSS. Like I said, this all comes down to your own personal system. I've used an Omen PC for a long time, and this works really well for me. Then, like I said, there's going to be a bunch of additional settings in your camera settings. You've got field of view, which we set a little bit earlier. And I think this is one of the most confusing things with the menus is the same settings pop up in about 500 different places. So you're like, should I be changing this again? So just keep that in mind and kind of go through this video chronologically so you get all the best settings correct. You want to change the weapons motion blur to 0, world motion blur 0, camera shake amount 50. It's going to make your game feel so much better and also look a lot cleaner. That's why we also turn off chromatic aberration, vignette, and film grain. I do not know anyone who plays with these on, but they are always on by default, which is absolutely insane. And then we're going to head further down, right? And you'll see crosshairs and indicators. We're going to hop into this to adjust our crosshair, but there are some other color settings that we're going to change that's going to make your game look a lot better. Crosshair intensity, we're going to up that to 85 just so it gets a bit thicker and you can see it on different brightness backgrounds. Very, very helpful. Infantry crosshair projection is off. Then hit indicator intensity is 70. And then another thing I do is I adjust my headshot color. Now I've kind of I am colorblind, so I think I've gone for like kind of a greeny yellow. You can probably let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or not, but this just means that when I'm shooting at someone, I can tell if I hit a headshot or a body shot. Just gives me a clear indicator of like, I've hit that headshot because the color pops up. I can take less bullets to take him out, or I'm aiming in the right place. Just gives a little bit of intel that really does help. So I would recommend changing that, and I think I've just adjusted it. So we're going to have to do this again, right? So like for me, this is what I do. Grab my mouse, kind of hop down here, and then kind of pop it up so it's a nice, bright, intense color. Then just scroll further down, right? And that's everything you need in this menu. Like I said, you can then kind of scroll through, and you've finished all of these settings. We're then going to go up to the accessibility menu. Now, we're then going to go down. We're going to color profiles. Now, this is a really, really helpful thing. So as you'll be able to see here, all my colors are a lot brighter by default. And that's because I go into this menu and I just move the colors into the top right-hand corner of every single setting. So when you go into it, you can move it into the top and it will intensify that color the first time you do it. Now that I've gone back, it's changed it a little bit, but go through here and just drag the little color icon. So if you're on red, you just drag it into this top right-hand corner and it will just give you that new kind of bright, vibrant color. Makes it a lot easier to spot on your minimap in the bottom left corner. Then we're going to head down to audio. You don't need to change anything else in here. Of course, remember that vibration is off. I have no idea why anyone play with that vibration because it will just ruin your aim. Then master volume 100, sound effects volume 100, music volume, turn it off. It does sound cool, but for me, game performance, You don't need it. Commander volume I set to 70. Soldier in campaign VO is 80. One of the helpful things with soldier VO is when someone is near you or gets killed, you'll hear their scream, so you know some enemies nearby. It's actually a very helpful call out. Other FPS games, normally I turn it off because it's not helpful, but in Battlefield 6 so far, I found it very helpful. Sound system I've set to 3D headphones, and then I use war tapes as my audio mix. And then voice chat, you can turn on or off. It's all personal preference. I always have it on. And I drop my tinnitus SFX volume down to 50, which works really well for me. And then enable radio music, I have that as off. But those are all the core settings that you need to change in Battlefield 6. You'll be able to go into Battlefield and dominate. I hope this video helped you. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Battlefield 6 content.